Guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So, I guess you're wondering what we're doing today. I have this bathboard. This is to go across your bath where you can set a couple of tea light candles, put your little wine glass if you have a glass of wine. And I got it from Shop Resin Molds off of TikTok. I got this in my 2-pound mold bag. I chose this mold. I know it holds 60 ounces. And I've been thinking, what do I want to do with it? Well, I was out shopping at Michael's. Actually, I went to the Wally World yesterday, Walmart, and they had this big old branch of leaves. And it was on clearance. And I was like, oh, that would look so pretty in that bathboard. But I want a little more color than the red. So, stopped by Michael's today after I went to the eye doctor. And bought some of these little leaves. I've already cut some of them off, you can see. And then I bought some of these. And I thought those was really cute. I would love to use the pine cones, but they're too big. They won't fit in my mold. So I cut a bunch off. This one's too big, so I'm not going to be able to use that one. I mean, if I could lap it over and know it would stay under, I'd be good. But I can't guarantee that it's going to. So anyways, that's going to be to put your book. So I cut out a bunch of pieces that you see up here that I'm going to put in here. And I have a few of these little ladybugs. But the problem is when you put them in resin, they go flat. They're really cute now, but they look flat once you put them in resin. So I'm not sure if I want to use those or not. But then I have these little flies or bees or whatever they are. And I thought I'll put a couple of those in there. And I have some little yellow bees here. And I thought, well, I can put a couple of those in there as well. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glitter mix here. And this just has some golds and greens and reds and things in it. Because, you know, I like glitter. I like a little shimmer. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this down through here for under the leaves, and this will keep it from just all sinking to the bottom because it's already going to be there. But I can control how much is in there by doing it this way. Just using a makeup brush and getting a little glitter on it and just dabbing it along because I do want a little sparkle. And I have to remember that I'm working from the bottom up. This will be the front. So we do have to remember that. But you know, I do want a little sparkle down in here. And I think these colors will look really, really pretty. There we go. I think that side's good. Now we're going to do this other side the same. And whatever glitter it gets, that's what's going to be in there. But I think these colors will look really pretty for a fall bathboard. And there goes my heater. Has not kicked on at all until I start to record. Okay. I'd like to get some of the bigger chunks of the glitter instead of all just a little. I see a few bigger chunks. And this board doesn't look like it's flat. It looks like it's whelped up. It was bent when it was shipped. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or if it's just because I've had it sit for a minute trying to decide what I wanted to do with it. Okay, I think that's plenty of glitter. I got a string. And there's another string. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little more on these just because I'm not putting any leaves over those. That's going to be for your candle. I know what that is. That's these brushes. I got these Jessup brushes because I heard they were really good. But man, and all they do is shed. Okay. And then we're going to just put a little bit, if I can get it. Yeah, right around through there. There we go. Do the same over here. There. All right. Maybe just a little more here. Now, there's a hair too. I think it's on, yep, it's on the inside. All right. I'm going to mix up a little bit of resin. I know this holds 60 and I don't want to fill it all the way up. So I'm probably going to do, because my leaves need to stay, I think I'm going to mix about 20. Do 10 on each side. So I'm only going to mix up 10 at a time. Do one side, mix up 10, pour it on the other side. So I'll see you guys back after I get some resin mixed up. Alrighty guys, so I got my resin mixed up. I mixed up 10 ounces. I'm not going to put it in the debubbler because I'm going to use the heat gun. Because like I said, I want a very, very thin layer of resin in here. I don't want a lot. I just want it to barely cover it so that I can lay my leaves down. Let's see. I've used about half of it. Just going to see if I can spread it out and if this is enough. I can get it to cover. And I don't care if the glitter goes flying because I didn't put up enough to really make a difference. You're still going to see what I'm doing. Okay, I think that is plenty. There's some bubbles down in there. I think we can do both sides actually with the 10. I hate how that part's bubbled up. That's really going to affect my tray. Okay, just scrape all of this out. I'm glad I didn't mix up 20. 10 is plenty. Okay, almost. Still quite a bit down in there. Okay, I think we're about done. About got it all here. Scoop around the corner there and then just drop this. I am going to have to mix that up just in case that's unmixed resin and not just bubbles. I don't want it to not cure. There's a bubble. Now let's see if I can spread all this out, and it's going to spread out better once I take the heat gun to it. Just getting it to go to those edges. Here's another brush bristle. I'm telling you, I don't care much for those brushes. They like to shed too bad. Okay. Just get it to the edges here. All right. And you see how that's sticking up? I really need something heavy to sit on that. But then I'm going to have to pour resin down in there after, because it will be empty. Well, I hate that. Because when it cures up, it's going to be bubbled on the other side. It won't be flat. Is it going to drip? All right. Let's get the heat gun, guys. Turn your volume down if you don't want to hear this. Now I see a couple of bowls we do got to pluck out of there. That's up next to the edges. So we don't want those in there. Pluck them off the bottom. But just go around your edge and in your corners and make sure you don't have any bubbles in there. Do both sides. Okay. Okay. There we go. I think we're good. I'm going to move this heat gun out of my way because now we need to start putting in some leaves. Oh, what can I set there that's not going to stick? I need something to sit here to hold that down. Because I don't think tape will do it. Let's see. I don't need anything tall. All right, guys, I'm going to put you on a brief hold. All right, guys, I am just going to try to stack up some silicone pieces and try to get that to lay flat. The problem is this is very likely to make it bubble up even more. But I'm just going to stack it as high as I can without, hopefully, without it tumbling over on me. Trying to find pieces that might weigh a bit. Okay. And then if the resin will go around that and hold that down, then maybe once it cures, we can come back and finish that little section and it'll be flat. Fingers crossed. We'll see. All right. Let's get us some little bugs. Okay. These is the little fly bugs. And then over here is the little bees. So let's see. I'm going to try to get a few of those little bees out. I won't need many. Okay. I'm going to put one right there. Okay. See if we can get another one maybe over here. I'm not going to put them everywhere. Maybe one up there. And then one over here in the corner. Okay. Now, I like this little orange yellow fly that I just dropped in the floor. Probably because I wanted to use him. And I'm just going to drop. Did you see that? He just doesn't want to go the way I want him to go. Okay, I want him there. There's another little orange, red looking one. We're going to drop that one there. I want one down here in the corner. Well, if I can get him, his wings might disappear. You may not be able to see him very well where he's got that clear. So, we'll see, won't we? And we'll put one there. Okay, that's all of those that we need. So, let me get these put back up. That way I don't get them accidentally in there when I don't want them, and I don't know where I'll put the bag for that. There it is, right in front of my nose. Okay. Get these little suckers put back. I think I got these off of Temu some time back. If I can find them, if they still have them, I will link them for you all. Alright. Now, I've got all different kinds of leaves. I've got some little ones here that I thought would be okay to put around these places. There we go. Now, love this orange looking one. Hopefully, they don't stick all the way up. I am going to try to press them down to get any kind of bubbles out from under them, because I know there's going to be. About tempted just to use my fingers. You can see how it's going to, the back end's going to raise. But as long as it raises and I can still cover it over, I don't mind. All right. See if I can get this big orange one up here. Just going to try to kind of press it out and try to get any bubbles that's under there out. I expect this to kind of float. So if it does, that's fine, because we will already have got all the bubbles out from under. See one trying to pop out there. Okay. I feel like we're still going to get bubbles. I can see one under there. Oh, you can see them. Move him back down. I see some here. Let's see if we can work those out. Oh, yeah. If you can see them, you can get them to come out. That's good. That one just, you get it out and the new one goes back in there. There. I think I finally got that one. Now I do need to pull this on down here a little bit. Okay. Still going to be bubbles. I'm not going to be able to get them all. But I still think it's going to be pretty. It's for a bathtub anyways, right? So, bubbles are okay. A little bit. Or I can tell myself that anyways. Let me pull this one on down here. Okay. See about this red one here. Oh, there come my bee. It's almost like a leg kicking up. Okay. I'd really like to have it covered in resin if I can. I hope I can get all these in here before this thing starts curing on me. You know what? I think I'm going to take this little bee and I'm going to put him right up under there. That part's wanting to stick up anyways, right? There we go. Got that one. There's a bubble. Okay. And I don't mind if they overlap on top of each other. Now let's see if I can just get some resin to cover that. They're actually staying down better than I thought they would. Guess I probably should have pushed that one down as well. He's got that little bug under him. But that one does too. Okay. I'm going to leave those alone. Alright, let's do some more color. See if we can get this big one here in there and get it to stay. I believe this one's going to give me some problems. I just hope this works out. Okay. Will that stay down? It's got to stay down at least enough to cover over. Okay, we're going to mess with him in a bit. I should have messed with this one as well. I wonder if I can bend them. I'm going to sling resin everywhere. Alright, we're going to just use our fingers. I think it's going to be quicker and easier if I do. And you can see big bubbles under that. You just can't get them out. They just re-pop up. There we go. Do it that way. I might end up having some of the back of this to trim off if these don't stay down. And try to bend these and see if they will. Just all I need is for them to stay in there just a little. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a couple of these next. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is just dip it, flip it, let that spread out, and then lay it back down. And hopefully I won't get many bubbles that way. So, there we go. Spread my resin here and lay that down. All right. Try to bend these down a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get this to go in here. I think he's going to have to go sideways though. And I've got my little bee under there because I can see him. Okay. Here's that one. What do we want next? I haven't used one of these, so let's try this. Okay. I'm just going to see if I can flip it here. Now we're going to bring it back up here and lay it back down. And hopefully no bubbles. Okay. All right. Just going to try to throw a couple of these little ones up here. Nope, that won't go that way. Maybe that way. Here we go. Put those around there. All right, what next? Do another purple. Do maybe a big purple up here. Okay. You know, the more I look at these, I hope that's a maple leaf. I mean, surely to goodness it would be, right? And not something it's not supposed to be. Because I know people's going to look at that and think that's something different. Okay. Let me resin coat that. Spread it out here. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this way and put another one of those little ones up there. I'll make up some more of those to put around. Okay. What about another orange? I think this orange is really pretty. Okay, let me turn him over and try to get him completely resined up here. Now let this spread out a little bit. Don't want no holes there. Now, here we go. I think we're good. And we can do another big one. What about this one? Kind of want to flip him around the other way though. So I'm just going to resin it up. Now Let that spread out. Make sure we don't have any holes under it. Okay, now I can lay this down. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to put one of those there. This one seems like it needs another little something, so I think I'll do this here and do this other one that I have. I'm just going to coat it with the resin like we did the rest. Make sure it's got resin all over it. Make sure it spreads out here. Okay, and then I'm going to just kind of lay that on top of each other. I think that will hold those all down in there. Now let me clean my hands off. I kind of want a couple more of those little ones though. So I think I'm going to cut some more. But I see a bubble. I'm going to get that bubble out of there. Okay, sorry about putting my head in the way. All right, get my little, where's my alcohol? I'm going to clean my gloves and I'm going to get a couple more of those small red leaves. I'd like to have some small leaves of other colors, but that's all I got. Okay. Just want some little ones here. I don't want the bigger ones. Okay, and they trim off very easy. Okay, let's get this last one right here. This is probably more than I need. And I just dropped one in the floor. All right. I just think it's going to look prettier if I just take a couple of these and kind of put them around in some different little spots. Okay. So I definitely want this to look like fall leaves. I think I want to turn that one around the other way. There we go. All right. I'm going to just put that right on top of that. There. And I'm going to turn that one around. Okay. I feel like I still need one right there. So let me get us another. I thought that would be too many. All right. I can get it to trim. Just a second. I'll get one more. I keep letting him loose. Okay. Because I think we're going to, I think we'll put maybe a brown coating behind these. I think brown would look really pretty. All right, I still think I need a couple more. I should have cut quite a few, and I didn't. I didn't think I would use all that, the ones that I even cut. It looks like we do need them. Okay. Put one over top of that bug. I just think this will be really pretty if we have quite a few on there. There we go. Now, I'm going to stop there. Let all this cure. I am going to spritz with some alcohol. Just in case there's some bubbles on there. That will get them. All right. Guys, we'll let this cure up, and then we will come back and we're going to do another thin layer of clear just to kind of cover the backing, and then I think I'm going to cover it in a brown color. So once this is cured up enough, we'll come back and do the next part. I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, this is cured up to where it's leaving a fingerprint like, but it is cured up enough. I think we can, and that's not even going to hold that down. It's still popping up. Oh well. I mixed up 20 ounces of resin, just clear resin. That we are going to put 10 ounces on each side. This should fill up half this mold because we've already got 10, and this is 20. And I know this mold holds 30, so I'm going to have to put some leaves over that there. Tried to do it, but just not going to work. Now there's a couple little areas like under this little leaf here in the corner. It needs to float underneath. Same way here. There's some little areas that do need to flow. I hope anyways that it does. And same way here. I don't want bubbles under there. I am going to have some bubbles. I know that. It is just not going to be able to be prevented. Can't help it. But I would like to prevent as many as I can. Okay. Let's see where we're at. I did put this in the vacuum chamber. I think I've got a couple more ounces I can pour in here. I see a bubble up here. I am going to have to get that out. All right, now let's see where we're at. All right. I am at, I've still got about 12.5 ounces. So I'll still pour a couple more. And I'm going to work on getting some bubbles out. Let's get down to, oh, now I went a little too much. I want 10 ounces on both sides, so. Let's see here. Where am I at? Almost. I think I looked at it wrong or something. Okay. Now, let's lay this over here on my little mat. Where I put my little silicone tool. Okay. I don't see a bubble. I mean, I can't prevent anything else down there. I'm going to go around the edge like we did the last time. There's a couple bubbles there. I do got to put some leaves in that one. Now, right here, I can get out that bubble. There we go. Got it. I hope none of these break loose and float. And there's a bubble. See that? Work that out. Here we go. I seen the resin go up under that one, so I know it's good. Here's a bubble. You can pop him up. Okay. I think we're all right. Now, I've got 10 ounces for the other side. So, let's get it poured. We've got resin on that and it's a little sticky. I'm just going to drizzle this down through here. And hopefully any areas under these leaves, so they all look like they've stuck down pretty good. Other than, you know, here. You'll see there we'll have to work that bubble out. I see a little bubble there that I'm going to have to work on. Okay. Here we go. And I just need to scrape this out and get everything out. So, just work on scraping all this down. These little spatulas are awesome for this. I hope you get every little bit. Now, I very rarely use these huge cups because I don't have many of them and they're a bit expensive. They're from Lindasresin and they hold, how much do they hold? 30 milliliter, 30 ounces. So they hold 30 ounces. I think they actually hold more than that. Just 30 is what's marked. It's as high as it's marked up on the cup. And I'm going to clean this out so that I can use it again. And how I will clean it out is just use some alcohol. I'll spritz it down in there, wipe it out with a paper towel, and I do that a couple of times just so I can make sure it's good and clean. Okay, I've got everything I can out of there. I just want to mix this up, make sure it's mixed well. Now, because I did that, I got there's more resin on my spatula I need to get off. Okay, now just take your alcohol and I just spritz it down in there. Spritz my spatula and I'll wipe that out in a little bit. Now, let's see. Make sure we don't have any bubbles around the edge of this one. I don't see any bubbles around the edge of this one. Let's see. Now I need to look at each piece where the resin comes up under those. Now I know this one's got one under there. I do need to pluck that out. You can see it almost. I am about to get it. Here we go. Got him out. Good deal. Okay. Now, let's see. I only have one green and orange one. Wonder if that's going to be too big. Oh, there's a bowl. Let's get that out. Get it out now. And here we go. And there's one. Now, where is my... There it is. I'm spritzing this because we're still going to put another layer on top of this when it's done. Alright, now I need to try to get all those bubbles out first. Okay. Couple more. And that's where I tried to get that stay down, and it didn't. So, oh well. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'm going to have to use this one in there. Try to let all those bubbles dissipate before I lay this down in there. Okay. Let's get our resin on our leaf here. And let's see if I can turn him around. Get him down in here. It's not going to be down as far as the rest of them, but it will be good enough. Gosh, I wish I could have got a big one down in there. I wonder if I can get that one on top of it. Maybe. I mean, we can try, right? All I gotta do is get him down in there. Let's see. Okay, I may have to use my fingers. I don't want to, but I have to. It'd be great if it'd stay. I can get that sucker to stay like that. He doesn't want to, does he? He just keeps coming loose. And that one, I just don't want to stay down in there. But if he would stay right there, I wouldn't have too much trimming to do. Okay, we'll see if he'll stay. I'll just have to trim him off if he doesn't. Alright, let's clean this sucker. Okay. And the leaves are, some of it's still kind of up, showing, but it's going to be covered in the next layer. I'm not worried about any of that. Oh, glove ripped. Let's get a new one. I do not want any resin on my hands. There we go. Yeah, we just got a few little stem pieces sticking up, and I'm good with that. I think he's going to stay right there, and if he does, that will work perfect. I don't mind if some of it is covered in the next layer. All right, we will let this cure up. Resin? Yeah, I drizzled it, didn't I? All right, we'll let all this cure up, and then we will come back and put our final layer on, which will be 30 ounces. And I'm going to use this small tongue brown because I want a brown, and I think that will be a nice color for backing. And that will be, we'll let it cure and we will have our backboard. Alrighty guys. Fingers crossed we don't have too many bubbles. I know there's a few because I can see a couple. So I don't mind a couple bubbles. Maybe it'll look like dewdrops on my leaves. So maybe we can get by with that. Alright. We'll let this cure up and I'll see you back for the next layer. Hey guys, so this is cured up, so we're going to be able to finish this off. But there's a couple of pieces I need to cut out that are sticking up. We're not going to see these little bits anyways because of when I put the resin in there, it's going to cover them over. I just want to make sure that I don't have anything sticking out for when I put the last layer on. And I think that should get covered over. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I have to worry about. Maybe a spot down here. Oh, and sorry about the last little bit of clip, guys. The sound. Apparently when I took my jacket off, my microphone fell out with it. So it was actually behind me in my chair, which is about 5 feet behind me. I'm surprised it even picked up. So we're going to mix up 30 ounces of resin. I've got my big cup here. I'm going to do 15 ounces of part B here. And then we will do 15 ounces of part A as well. Look eye level when you're pouring this in the cup. That way you know you've got the amount you need. Okay. And let me turn my light on. There we go. All right. Now, before I put this in there, because I want to mix this up, I'm going to go ahead and put my brown. And like I said, this is the small tongue mica powder brown. So I'm just going to put quite a bit of that in there. And hopefully it will be a pretty color. All right. Now, this is part A. It's a bit thicker. I'm going to put that on top of that in hopes that it doesn't fly everywhere when I start to mix this up, because I'm going to use my stand mixer here. And hopefully I don't end up with clumps either for doing it that way. But we'll see. This is a lot of resin to mix up at one time. I am going to divide it before I put it into the vacuum chamber. because we want to make sure it doesn't bubble over. And there's no way with this cup going to be full that I can put all of it in the vacuum chamber. Okay. There we go. I'm going to mix that for just a second, just because of the mica powder. Okay. See how this is going to mix up. I hope it's the color I want. I don't want it to hide my leaves. I want them to stand out. And with the colors that they are, I think this will work really well. Okay. Is that enough brown? I think so. I think it'll be okay. All right, guys, I'm just going to clean this stick off, get this mixed up for about 4 minutes, divide it out into another cup, put it in the debubbler or the vacuum chamber, and we'll be back to pour in just a moment. All right, guys, so I got that out of the vacuum chamber. I have, how much in this one? I have 17 here, and I have 13 here. So let's get to pouring. And because I mixed this up with my stand mixer, I didn't get that many bubbles. So that was awesome. Now, I just want to, this is still soft, so I want to make sure that I cover that side first before I go over to the other. Because if you don't, then it can really, there's probably going to be bubbles there. It can press the resin and move it. So you want to kind of be quick, because you don't want the heaviness of this resin to displace the clear. And it can. There we go. Now we should be able to finish filling this all the way. This thing's going to be huge. I think it's going to be pretty though. Y'all hear my air purifier where I've been spritzing alcohol? I was cleaning up my mixer and was spritzing alcohol and set that thing off. It'd be cool if it cured up with those lines, wouldn't it? But that's not how mica powder cures. Okay. I know I need every drop out of this because it looks like it could actually use a little bit more. Okay. We're going to scrape that cup as well. And I think I may end up having to mix up a few more ounces. This might take more than 60. Even though they said it took 60, I think it takes a little more. Okay. Need every drop. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to take a little more resin. So how much do I think I need? I bet it'll hold another 10 ounces. Truthfully. Really do. This 10 in this large mold is not going to be much. Okay, almost. Okay, this last little bit here. Now let's scrape right down in there. Right there, and right there. All right, let me look. Definitely 10 more ounces. So let's mix up some more. And I'm going to spritz that with some alcohol. Just because I see a few bubbles. Get them now before I mix the rest. So kitchen's on pause. I'm going to mix up some more resin. Get it in the debubbler. We'll be back to pour. Alrighty guys, so I got this mixed up. I mixed up 10 more ounces. So let's pour this in here. So I know it's going to hold it all. And it had quite a bit of room. I think this mold might hold 70 ounces, not 60. Truthfully, I think it still use another couple of ounces. I will have to trim the back. It's not domed, but it is full. And that's okay. I don't mind to trim the back. Okay. Get all of this resin out of here. No point in wasting anything because this mold's going to hold it. Okay. All right. I think we should have about all of it out of here. One last little go around. Now I'm going to get the lip here. A lot gets trapped in that little lip. Okay, let that drip off. One more little drop. All right, guys, I'm going to clean this up. Spritz some more alcohol, just in case for bubbles. Alrighty, guys, we'll let this cure up, and we will come back and demold and trim this up and see how my bathboard looks. So, see you guys then. Alrighty, guys, this is cured up. So it is the moment of truth. Am I going to like it? Or am I going to hate it? We'll see. I guess it's going to be according to how many bubbles I got down in there. Try to get some of this overage off, and it will prevent me from having to at least clean that up. It's just little drips. I'm going to have to trim the sides anyways, but this will at least clean the mold. Worst part about this tape is it just keeps folding on itself. Okay. Curious to see what it looks like. And if it'll be functional. Who knows? I think if you take a hot bath, I would think that the hot water could affect this board. But it's supposed to be a bathboard. Now it is really thick. So 70 ounces of resin's not a small amount. I think this is the biggest thing I've ever made. So almost. Nice little bit there. One little section here. If I can get it. There. And over here. Just keeps more and more in it. Okay, let's see what we look like. Easy to demold at least, right? I don't see my lines between my layers. Of course, you're going to see it for the color. Because of its color. And the rest is clear. Very sharp. Definitely going to have to trim it up. Okay, there's a little piece I missed. All right. I feel static. It's bent. So it's going to have to lay here and cure for a while. Let's see. Ooh, that's a big bubble. I don't mind. I mean, it does kind of look like little water droplets. This one's too thin. I'm going to have to drill it out. This one's got to be filled. So we're going to, that one's kind of deep. I'm going to fix this one. I'm going to leave these little ones. I got to fill this and this. And I'm going to drill this one out. I don't know. He's kind of deep down in there. I kind of like him. So I do have a couple to fill and fix. And then that is it. I do like it. Kind of looks like a fall board. Can you guys see it without the glare of that light? I hope you all can see that. But I'll just fill in some holes and then I'll take a photo, and that will be it for this video. But you put your little wine glass there, a couple tea lights here. You can put your book in the center. And I will put this someplace to let it completely cure after I fill in a couple of holes. So, I like my little bee. Where's the other little bees? Can you see them? I see the yellow bees. Did I lose my other bees? Oh, there's one. I was wondering about the wings. Yeah, you can't really tell what he is that? His wings kind of disappeared. It's the only one I see. Oh, here's one. Oh, now this one I can see really well. I really do like this. Love the different colors. And there's a bubble. It's got to be fixed. So, I got a little work to do on it, but I'll see you guys back for the next video. So, and I turned the camera. How in the world does the camera turn? I don't even touch it. I had to figure out how to stabilize that better. So, see you guys back for the next video. So, bye for now.